Hank, you are such a child. You're a bigot and you're prejudiced.
No, you're the bigot.
You're bigger, and you're pregnant.
I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I?
You're being childish.
Right, Hank? You are such a.
Let me know. James is here. I wanted to ask James about Columbus Day. Happy Columbus Day. And I wanted to ask James this because some of you know James is white. He white. And the host of the Hake Report every Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, and Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Pacific time. James.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, do you celebrate Columbus Day? You recognize Columbus Day?
Yes, I do.
I saw this morning at some of the universities around the country that the people of color hate Columbus because he's white. And they're claiming, oh, he's bad. He hurt the Indians, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
And they want to take down Columbus, whatever, and all the other stuff. My question to you is, why are the whites participating with the colors to destroy Columbus Day when, in reality, the people who want to destroy Columbus are doing it because they hate white people? And so there are white men and women, young and old, in their own country, helping their enemies to destroy them. Why?
Part of it is brainwashing.
What do you mean?
Brainwashing?
How can you be so brainwashed that you're helping your enemy to set? Because what's going to happen when it's all done and said, or said and done, the white's going to be enslaved in America, like those in South Africa.
Yeah, but they definitely don't see that coming. They think that that's a conspiracy theory. They don't even acknowledge that what's happening in South Africa is actually even happening in South Africa.
They don't mean
they deny it.
When you say they don't acknowledge, they don't know about it, or they know or say it's not real.
Well, maybe the media, some of the media knows, but some justify it, but they deny that it's even happening, that they're being killed. Remember when Trump tweeted about South Africa, the farm murders?
Yes.
A lot of people said that was a far right white nationalist conspiracy theory. So they deny that it's happening. And so some people do know that it's happening and deny it, but other people don't. I think that they actually listen to the liberal media and believe them. And then a lot of whites are intellectuals, and so like they believe in evil. And so they support these evil things, thinking that they're supporting what's right, or pretending that they're supporting what's right.
But how do they?
Because there's been a long-standing like communist media campaign and academic campaign against Christopher Columbus, calling him like a rapist and a murderer and a colonizer, like that's a bad thing and stuff like that. There's all this anti-colonial stuff, like Obama was part of that. Dinesh D'Souza pointed out. So there's just that's why I call it the brainwashing of the white people.
But so do the white people who are joining and have joined forces with the people of color, they don't know that the people of color hate them? With all the violence and all the accusations and all the everything, they don't know that the people of color hate them too?
Most of them are intellectuals living in like the college environment and the uppity suburbs and stuff like that, where the ones that they interact with are nice to them because they're nice to each other. You know, they're nice to the.
But they're only nice to them because they can't speak up.
Right.
If they spoke up, if the white people who are nice with the colored people, if they disagreed or spoke up, they'll see that they're not right. They'll see that they ain't nice.
And then there's this suppression of what's really going on. Like Colin Flaherty is kicked off of YouTube like for the last time over a year ago, or maybe more. So like the actual what's going on, the black on white aggression and violence and stuff, and the POC, you know, like the Mexicans wouldn't even exist without Christopher Columbus because he sailed for Spain, and most of them have Spanish blood. Anyways, but the whites don't.
So Christopher left wherever he was from Europe to go to Spain.
Yeah, he was from Italy, right? But he
Italy,
sailed,
yeah.
he like the Italians weren't going to finance him, so he sailed under the Spanish crown.
Oh yeah.
He convinced them to be like, "Hey, I know that the world is round. Let me sail around the world to the Indies or whatever."
And that's why he ended up there.
Yeah, he ended up in the Americas.
Oh, and so he left Spain. I mean, he left. Where did he leave?
Spain, I guess, or
Italy.
yeah, Europe.
He left Europe
Yeah.
to go to Spain.
No, to go to India or the
India.
Indies. I don't know. India or the Indies.
He left there to go there.
Yeah.
And he ended up where?
He ended up in the Americas. I think further south from us.
And
Definitely
then
further south.
once
from us.
he ended up there, then what happened?
Then he's like, he discovered the New World. I mean, he helped.
He's like, oh,
rediscover it.
Lord, there's some more land over there. Ain't nobody living on that land.
Yeah. Various people have discovered it, right? He did it. Amerigo Vespucci, whatever his name is. Leif Erikson, who was like a Nordic guy or something like that.
Oh, they're all white?
Yeah, a bunch of whites. Well, if Italians count as white, we had a whole discussion about it.
I know. And so when they discovered this land, were the Indian anywhere around, or were they downtown somewhere smoking pot?
Some of them were around in after a
Around
while,
where?
You know, in the different parts of the Americas. Yeah.
They were like over in New York.
I don't think we got that high. Maybe later on we did.
Uh,
Meaning the people.
what do you mean they are not taught to think? By whom? For themselves.
Now, you were saying before that, James was saying in the beginning that they're brainwashed, but
The white people are
Yeah.
going along with the people who hate them.
Right.
people in general too is that even the people who hate Trump and all this stuff, but specifically what you're talking about is that nobody is taught to think for themselves. They just hear it. Because even before I came here, I jumped on, and I didn't really care that much, but people were talking about, oh, Trump is bad. He's a bad president. He ain't a genuine guy. Da da da. And it's so easy to be like, oh, I can see how that's true. Instead of thinking for yourself, like, is it true or is it not? You're not taught that,
Amazing.
to have your own opinion.
Did you hear did you hear that little white boy in the classroom, the teacher tried to brainwash the kids?
Oh, yeah.
Saying that Trump was bad. The little white boy, no, he's not.
That's
No,
cool.
he's not.
Nice.
If he grow up with that, he'll be a mighty young man.
Yep.
If no one take his courage away from him. I hope he doesn't go home and his parents like, Johnny, you better be quiet. The mama.
I know. Such a pain.
And so what do you think with these people trying to act, delusional people pretending that it's somebody else's day when it's really Columbus Day?
I know. It's been a long time coming, too. It's been happening since, 1992 or maybe earlier. Berkeley, California
Yeah.
changed it and to Indigenous Peoples Day.
And then the other slow-minded people just start saying it too.
I know.
They just say whatever the children of light say.
Yep.
Amazing. I want you to hear this call
Okay.
and respond to it. Charles out of St. Louis, Missouri. Welcome to the show, Charles.
Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning, Charles. How are you?
I like how you just point me out, but that's okay.
What do you mean?
You know exactly what I mean.
When I said to
Statement you
James,
made before you took my call.
right, because James knew about Columbus. I don't.
Well, you don't know a lot about anything, but that's okay.
I don't know much about history. I don't know much
Nope.
about algebra. But I
Nope.
do know that I love you.
And I love you too, Jesse.
Thank you, Charles.
Anyway, I was going to comment on Columbus.
Okay.
Well, he did sail under the flag of Spain. He's an Italian. The Italians knew he was a terrible sailor and wouldn't back him.
What type of terrible in what way?
Well, he wasn't a good sailor.
And what was wrong with him?
Well, one, he set it out for India it ended up in America.
I
which
know,
is
but what
almost
made him?
a-
Why did the Italian not like him? What was you said he wasn't a good fella?
He
What
was a
was
bad
it?
fella.
Sailor.
Huh?
He's saying sailor.
Oh, you say he wasn't a good sailor?
Correct.
Oh, I thought you said fella.
Oh, okay. And he first ended up in the Caribbean and then moved on to South America. So he had really nothing to do with the United States of America. If you want to give credit to the United States of America, then you got to go to Britain because they settled America.
And what's your point?
But that's
That
not
the
exactly true.
British
That's not exactly true,
settled
James say.
America.
A white guy said that's
No.
not exactly true. What's not true about that?
Okay,
James?
Because
so
if
what
it
were
weren't
the
for-
13 colonies?
if it
What
weren't
were
for-
the 13 colonies?
If it weren't for Columbus colonizing, then Britain wouldn't have heard about it and then come over here
Do you really believe that?
Aha!
in your face.
Because there were many people who actually found the continent America. It was the British who made it the United States of America.
Yep. Better recognize.
Okay.
But Mr. Columbus had to
you
come
should
first.
recognize. One, Britain and Spain were enemies
I know they were competing.
with the French. With the French.
What's your point?
Now, you
I don't
want to
know.
talk about colonizing America, it was the British,
Let me ask you
the
something, Charles.
Spanish, and the French.
Charles, let me ask you this. Why are the black people joining forces with the Indians or whomever and going after the white people by trying to destroy the name of Columbus? Why
Well, I
why
don't
are the
believe-
blacks going along with that?
I can't answer that question, Jesse, because in my experience, we don't sit around with the Indians and the Mexicans
Right.
and other people of color and really discuss, Christopher Columbus.
But you repeat their nonsense.
Right. Why are you guys
Wait a
getting
minute,
involved?
How am I repeating nonsense? All I did is give you facts.
No, because you said that Christopher Columbus was not a good sailor, but he got to the New
wasn't.
World. And then who benefited? Italy didn't benefit because they didn't have the vision, but Spain benefited because they were able to colonize.
That's because he was a Spanish explorer.
Right.
Okay, what's your point?
Because Italy thought that he was a bad sailor, so they lost out. Spain took the chance and won out.
Okay, and your point?
That he was a good sailor.
No, he accidentally found America.
If it wasn't for Columbus discovering the United States of America, there would be no America, right?
He did not discover the
And then
United
you would
States of
be
America.
stuck in Africa. Can you imagine how life would be then?
Well, that's not exactly true either.
What's not
Yeah,
true?
you might not even exist.
Right.
Hank, you are such a child.
Why? Because I tell
you
the
are-
why?
you are
Because I
very
tell the obvious
immature.
truth.
You are very. It's like talking to somebody in the 11th grade.
Thank you. That's a good age.
Yeah. So
you are
immature.
childish.
Yeah,
You
he's
are
so.
immature.
It's
He's so
16-year-olds are
childish.
all right.
You're a bigot, and you're prejudiced.
No, you're the bigot.
You're bigger, and you're
I
pregnant.
know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I?
You're being childish.
Right, Hank? You are such a.
How is he? What's a bigot?
A
You
bigot
are,
is somebody who can't stand another person's opinion.
Charles, what's a bigot?
You are.
Charles, you said I'm black. Can I be one too?
Sure, you can, Jesse.
Oh, and what's a bigot?
A person who only understands their point of view and looks down on others when they don't agree.
And so, are you one too? Then you don't understand white people.
No,
You called
I'm
me
not
a
a bigot.
child from my point of view.
You did. You call him a child and a bigot.
He
So
is
that
a
made
child.
you a bigot.
If you listen to his whole, he just rambles on his own show,
Thank you.
talking about things that really don't make sense.
Like what, for example?
He spends 45 minutes on an hour show rambling.
About what?
Nothing.
And so
which day?
do you listen to the nothing for 45 minutes?
I want to hear the callers, but I hear one or two.
So who's the sucker?
Your audience, Hank.
Including you.
Audience is the sucker.
Hake, not Hank. But thank you, Charles, for that little history.
Oh, and the answer to your biblical question.
Yes, sir.
Repeat it.
What is the benefit to those subject to passion?
Christianity.
What do you mean?
Because Christ had a passion.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. Christ
Yes,
was
he did.
not a passionate person, believe me.
You don't know what the word passion means.
Passion was,
You only know-
Christ was
you don't
not
know
a
what the word
passion.
passion means.
Christ,
Jesus Christ had a passion
no, he didn't.
to spread his Father's word correctly.
No, he
He
didn't.
had so much of a passion that it took over the world.
That's a lie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was not a passionate man.
He wasn't.
No.
You don't know what the word passion means.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes,
what
I
does
do.
it mean?
I
What does it
can't.
mean?
I'm not going to respond to my biblical question until Sunday, but I can tell you this: he was not a passionate person.
Oh, he wasn't?
You've been listening too much to Oprah and Gail.
Gail King.
You ought to marry Oprah. Anyway,
Thank you,
or
man.
somebody.
Thank you, Charles.
Oh, one more thing, Jesse. Where does your silent prayer come from?
From heaven. Thank you, Charles. I got to run. I want to ask you this, James.
Okay.
So when you hear white people going against their own best interest, does that concern you?
Yeah. But I mean, it's like, I just think of them all as the same. They're just supporting evil.
It reminds me of the people who go against the Second Amendment. It's like they're going against their own self-interest and they don't know it.
Right.
How do you convince anybody to give up their guns?
You know, the states of Florida, Hawaii, Alaska, Vermont, South Dakota, New Mexico, and Maine do not recognize Columbus Day. And they each have replaced it with celebrations of Indigenous Peoples Day, except for Hawaii, Discoverers Day. And
That is so dumb.
South Dakota, Native American Day.
And white people allow people to change their own country.
And then the cities, Berkeley, like I said, California, Austin, Texas, Boise, Idaho, Cincinnati, Ohio, Denver, Colorado, Los Angeles, Mankato, wherever that is, Minnesota, Portland. Minnesota is supposed to be a city, I guess. Portland, Mankato, Minnesota, Portland, Oregon, San Francisco, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Seattle, St. Paul, Minnesota, and Tacoma, and dozens of others.
They don't celebrate.
They celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day.
And those people that do nothing.
I know.
They haven't accomplished anything.
They just complain and cry genocide or something like that when
And
they're
we-
still living.
And
so we didn't genocide them
them
completely.
we gave them casinos, right?
Casinos and
Told them that they don't have to pay taxes on it.
reservations.
And all they do is get drunk.
Yeah. It's really no different from the blacks who support the NAACP and the Democrats
Oh, yeah.
because they're supporting their own destruction.
Yeah.
So the whites are doing the same thing for their own destruction.
That makes sense.